Hey, is this thing on? Yeah, it is. Let's start. What? I told you never come back. What I told you. Okay. What did you say? You were supposed to inflating me. Kimmy? What? Apologize? I told you I'd never come back. Yeah, I offered a copy over the world. Give it up. Just do it.
Let's see what we can find.
Ducks, ducks, ducks.
ねもうちょっと違うとこ
Ducks. They are Oh my god, so bad. It's taking long for searching the lab. This is long. No. Okay, let's go. We gotta go. Stop. Okay. Let's go. Anything on the physical machines. There's physical things that come to focusing from between where the around that's good, or so it's not good, so it's still that's good technology, so we're going to stick to the power and the
Put mouse baker restaurant, put mouse has vendors, put mouse has your hat, put
Time's up.
mouse has your hat, put mouse has vendors, put fast, put it off, put the RDM, put masterpiece, put mouse has your hat, put drink, put chunk cheese, where's the chicken cheese, I don't have legs, arms, or snow seamed hands, put toad, put green toad, put head, put yellow toad, put mouse, where's the chicken cheese, legs, arms, or snow seamed hands, put mouse, hasahida, his legs, arms, or snow seamed hands, toad, put green toad, put head, toad, put green toad, put mouse, hasahida, his legs, arms, or snow seamed hands, put out, put mouse, hasahida, put cut, throw, crunch, put the inverted, put laborias, last put mouse, has your hat, put mouse, has vendors, put mouse, has your hat, put chipachis, has vendors, put mo, resource, the chipachis, I don't know, has legs, arms, or snow seamed hands, put toad, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put mouse, has I don't know, arms or snow seamed hands, put the pab air was as Lamarand has walking. Bigger sand horse legs, arms or snow seamed hands, put toad, we're gonna put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put Ruther bear, put what, put all on to place, limit, put ruler got put in a put poop melon. Still put beef and crunch, put captain crunch, put the inverted, put laborias, last burris, put pas bear, oaks, alcas, ass, burris, put cloud, put we, I, put me, I, put mouse, has your hat, put catch, pull, but the bear was sass slimer. You built a put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put ass, last burris, put pass, bear, woke, salkas, ass, burris, put mouse, has your hat, put Nick Fix, put mouse, has your hat, put triple cheese, has saddenders, put triple cheese. It put fuse, has your hat, put this whole chef, put Melissa, chef, fuse, chef, put chef, put has your hat, 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 put has a hat, put has a add has your hat, put 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 has your hat, pupus. It put for pukabas kasayo respect put gas for the sofo our science serap put bear pukabas kasayo respect put hainburn stare put bear pukabas gasayo iris put bear pukabas kasayo put baskin ribbons put left sun put chicken put hainburn stare babisa put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put ass last burris put pass bear woke salkas ass burris put mouse saddenders put handy express put shrimp birded put jump cheese if the mousie's walking thicker sand horse legs arms or snow seen hands put toad birded put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put handy express put pink toad put mouse saddenders hills arms or snow seen hands put little bears walk in thicker sand horse legs arms or snow seen hands put toad birded put green toad put red toad put blue toad put mouse put bird put monster put dog put check put yellow toad put pink toad put bow sneaker put wither net put time net put complacilla put praj put clam put mouse has your hat put moise has your hat put moise chef put melissa chef put this chef put moise chef put chef put moise has your hat put coisa has your hat put toisa has your hat put moise has a hat put mousery versa chicken cheese hadern horse legs arms or snow seen hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put the next put mouse has hadern hills arms or snow seen hands put joyce has your hat put coisa has your hat put toisa has your hat put corn focus put noise has your hat put boys has your hat put boys has your hat put 100 out put sois has your hat put putis has your hat put voice has your hat put sois has your hat put yois has your hat put voice 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 has your hat put pia sarah hat put aos has your hat put coisa has your hat put voice has your hat put pia has your hat put pia put voice put coisa put aos put pia put voice put voice put voice put voice put yois put sois put voice put putis put sois put voice put voice put noise put voice put coisa put joyce put voice put mouth sewer chicken cheese hadern horse legs arms or snow seen hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse has your hat put the output halted put corn put fork put handy express put to head put triple cheese sewer chicken cheese hadern horse legs arms or snow seen hands put handy express put joked again put mouse has hadern hills arms or snow seen hands put toys put voice put voice put hainburn stare babisa built a put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put ass last burris put pass bear woke salkas ass burris put ass bear cabas casayo burris put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put toad brigade green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put toad brigade put bean toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put toad brigade green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put toad, forget it, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put toad, forget it, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put toad, brigade poop, green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put toad, forget it, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put toad, forget it, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put pi orin poop, put beef, why body orin, put I ask for pukabas kasai over us put p1 to play, put pi orin, put whichever fun, put pi orin, put I ask spare pukabas kasai over us put randy or the donkey, put pi orin, put pi orin, pull from Winnie the put shupto. You still took a put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put food, put ass last for us put pass bear woke salkas ass for us put Walgreens, put I ask bear pukabas kasai over us put Baskin Urbans, put super cuts, put mouse has your hat, put subway, put thicket in. The hat put Flintstones, put 100 out, put little keysars, put mouse has your hat, put jersey McGissips, put mouse has your hat, put subway, put mouse has your hat, put Pepsi, put finit, put cut throw. You still take a put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put ass last for us, put pass bear woke salkas ass for us, put Kekos bakery restaurant, put keysar, put Flintstones, put mouse has your hat, put mountain to put thicket in. The hat put fit in sing concerts, put Keki, put the city, put his, put French freeze, put hot dog, put lemon, put Kekos bakery restaurant, put keysar, put little keysars, put keysar dips, put keysar, put ass bear, put kabas casa over us, put keysar. You still took a put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put labura ass last for us, put pass bear woke salkas ass for us, put magic tree house, put mouse has your hat, put get a jazz, put mouse has your hat, put Twin Peaks, put us bank, put mo, you saw has your hat, put Timbler run, put mouse has your hat, put out shat, put out has your hat, put mouse has your hat, put mouse has a beauty and his tail, put mouse has your sandness, put mouse has your hat, put mouse there has a hat, put decadent, he hat, put binder dog, put mouse has your hat, put mouse has a beauty and his tail, put mouse has your sandness, put mouse has your hat, put triple cheese or such a cheese hat, put mouse has a hat, put cut throw. You still took a put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put labura ass last for us, put pass bear woke salkas ass for us, put mouse has your hat, put triple cheese has lahad enders, put Judas Amblers, put mouse there has a hat, put thicket in. The hat put binder dog, put mouse has your hat, put refract, put dim inner, put Jim Intertron, put mouse has a beauty and his tail, put mouse has your sandness, put man, put mouse has your hat, put Smith's with the pabear was sass limerent. He's walking to her sand. His legs, arms are snow seamed hands, put toad, put green toad, put neon trees, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put for blocks, put pink toad, put mouse, has lahadem, halix, arms are snow seamed hands, put there, put binder dog, put plot, put oil on to place, limit him, put mouse, has your hat, put out his shat, put out his your hat, put the legal, put in a put three, put catch, put the bear with sass limmer, put for blocks, put shuck toe. Put PIORing, put you into plane, put PIORing, put filter, put beef, crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put labura ass last for us, put pass bear woke salkas ass for us, put tiller, put keep going with the PIORing, put PIORing, put from Winnie the put ticker bell, put separado. You still took a put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put ass last for us, put pass bear woke salkas ass for us, put subway, put bell sneaker, put toad, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow, put pink toad, put you saw has your hat, put triple cheese or such a cheese, then horse legs, arms are snow seamed hands, put mouse has your hat, put mouse has then legs, arms are snow seamed hands, put mouse has your hat, put hand, put bear with sass, around has walking. Hicker sand, horse legs, arms are snow seamed hands, put toad, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put mouse has then legs, arms are snow seamed hands, put bear, put pondered out, put blot, Boy out into place, limit and put vertical put and a put to put three put catch put the bear was sass limit put mouse has her hat put Starbucks put camp kidney put mouse has a hat put decadent he hat put I asked for put kavas kasai over us put mouse has her hat put mouse has her hat put sunchips put sunrise put sunset put I asked bear put kavas kasai over us put Tikabel put BC the Bronx so regular put third rubber hint her. Here put Bindergug put mouse has her hand put I asked bear put kavas kasai over us put mouse has her hand put wiener schnitzel put mouse has her hand put I asked bear put kavas kasai over us put BC Bronx so right near put Thora behind her put hundred out put mouse has her hand put Willis it pets gonna put mouse has her hand put mouse has a beauty and his tail put mouse has her sandness it put pastor boy put fish hooks put millet put pascar put triple just suffering spoon mouse it put bird put minster put dog put chef put toad put it put green toad put head toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put thicket in the side and his umberland also had understand no seen task walking figure she looks too far like a chick had she see hair let on for her land her reped his bow and her reped his shit and her reped his umberland fell down the grads mousey skimming again mouse it pets the band-aid sand thicket in the head and has needs to get to the hospital and the hills arms are snow seen hands put toad brigade it put green toad put red toad put underdog put star mouse it put bird put monster put dog put chef put boing put kid spooky put him put dash put hand poop dot poop kid at mouse a poop bird poop monster put dog put chef put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse has her hand put fidence putzers picky put the city put his put French freeze put hot dog put lemon put three marie off toad brigade poop blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse put bird put monster put dog put chef put thicket in the head is out to housing task going Compton Elks for lunch and here are the red cheese over chicken eggs and French freeze and dessert and has space ammonia and here it's lunch and to the beach and her to Sombreleo, Fab Def gets school not first Lexus and her goes to store the jets as we can put pace ammonia and has during the current has the house out of both and took his shit off just for capital brand has going. It'll keep within her going till Pantas we can go Pantas going downstairs and yours ahead and his bow and halls and along halls ahead understand no seen task jets out the housing task walk in the grass. He has ahead and his gal and horse legs arms are snow seen hands put just like a cat put toad put it put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put mouse has her hand put pink toad put mouse has ahead and his arms are snow seen hands put Kuma you still took a put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean bird put I asked last the rest put pass bear woke self I asked the rest put mouse has her hand put triple cheese has vendors put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put thicket in cat put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put thicket in the head is out the housing has going Compton Elks for lunch and here are the red cheese and jerk chicken bits and French freeze and dessert here has space ammonia and here it's lunch and has going to the beach and her it is Sombreleo Fab Def gets school not first Lexus and her goes to store the jets as we can put pace ammonia and has during the current has in the house out of both and took his shit off just like a bit the brand has going to keep within has going till Pantas we can go Pantas going downstairs and yours and his bow and halls umberland halls ahead understand no seen task jets out the housing task walking figure has ahead and his gal and hills arms are snow seen hands boot just like a kitika poop diltica put beef a crunch put captain crunch put beef bird put I asked last the rest put pass bear woke self I asked the rest put I asked bear put kavas kasai over us put triple cheese or a triple cheese hat put pastor boy put Flintstone put Glasgow you still took a put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean bird put I asked last the rest put pass bear woke self I asked the rest put mouse has her hat put Jim and Ertron put the getting the head is out of the housing task going Compton Elks for lunch and here are the red cheese Ember jerk chicken eggs and French freeze and dessert Simone and here it's lunch and task going to the beach and her to Sombreleo Fab Def gets school not first Lexus and her goes to store the jets as we can put pace ammonia and has during the current has in the house ahead of both and took his shit out just like a bit the brand was going to keep within task going till Pantas we can go Pantas going downstairs and yours ahead and his bow and halls umberland halls ahead understand no seen task jets out the housing task walking tiger has ahead his gal and horse legs arms are snow seen hands put just like a cat put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse has ahead and hills arms are snow seen hands put decadent the hat is out He housing has going McDonald's for lunch and he are red cheese a burger chicken gates and French fries and a said dear has space money and he eats lunch and has going to the beach and her the sombrero fab that gets from that first double says and her ghost astro the jet says we can put pace money and Hester. Iving Booker and has in the house of the both and took his shit off just one of the Booker and has going to the people and has going to the pan has we can go pan has going downstairs and yours ahead and his bow and holes under long holes ahead under Sanders and no seen has jets out the house and his walking figure shots ahead and his tail and horse legs arms are snow seen hands put just like a cat put toad where did it put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse ahead and legs arms are snow seen hands put beef a crew. People took a put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put over I asked last the rest put pass bear looks all cause I asked the rest put triple cheeses walking figure chest to for cast rolling for her and hurry put off and hurry pet t-shirt and pants and fell down for grass up and here to allow his clip the sand mousey skimming with an empire from the semester and triple cheesing mouse sale put band-aids and triple cheese goes to the hospital the mousey triple cheese here into the hospital and the hills arms are snow seen hands food toad where did it put green toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put I asked for cabas kasai over rest put mouse has a head enders put mouse has her hat put thinking golf put snake chest put snip put mouse has a hat put poops. Still took a put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put over I asked last the rest put pass bear looks all cause I asked the rest put did I ask a snake chest put yes put the blue put snake chest put scoot put the blue put still took a put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put over I asked last the rest put pass bear looks all cause I asked the rest put snake chest put mouse has her hat put triple cheese has a head enders put milk put poor mouse put bird put monster dog put chef put mouse has her hat put chicken quesadilla put nefka put you know put binder dog put mouse has her hat put nachos put mouse has her hat put ham put bear put block baba. Boy, I winter the book put hawk put for rest the book put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put paintburn stare for visit put mouse has her hat put mouse put bird put monster put dog put chef put Sylvania put I asked bear pop cabas kasai bear us boo put I asked for cabas kasai over put has her hat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put pe hashat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put blue hashat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put pusla hashat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put wishat put I asked bear put cabas kasai Iris put hashat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put has her hat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put has her hat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put has her hat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put has her hat put I asked bear put cabas kasai over rest put has her hat put bio spare put cabas kasai over rest put chicken put kale put mouse has her hat put pusla hashat put moist wishat put mui hashat put sip mouse put bird put monster put dog put chef put boing put kids spoofy put him put dash put bend dog put stir mouse put bird put monster put dog put chef put chest put mouse has her hand put angel put Daniel teacher's neighborhood put Daniel put missile and put the next put mom get a cat put Kitika put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put over I asked last the rest put pass bear woke salkas I asked the rest put clean a mouse put bird put monster put dog put chef put Alda put mouse put the argle put the owl put Howell just flip it from Winnie the Pooh. Put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put over I asked last the rest put pass bear woke salkas I asked the rest put Maria Cartwee I put mouth tidger put dead tidger put prince who had nest day put whore put smell put a dose to put the bear and stains bear scoop or third oop put beef a crunch put captain crunch put over I asked last the rest put pass bear woke salkas I asked the rest put 100 out put sister put mimic put fidancing concerts put icky put the city put his put French freeze put hot dog put limo put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put over I asked last the rest put pass bear woke salkas I asked the rest put toad put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put scotch put fish put Oscar put bee put it put dirt dog put mouse has her hat put toad put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put laugh put mouse has her hat put babysitter put Paul put Lil put Phil put Tricky put gimmick put Susa put chess put little walking Kicker sand horse legs arms or snow seamed hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse hasladen legs arms or snow seamed hands put financing concert put icky put the city put his a poop French freeze FIFA dog put mouse has her hand put underdog put mouse has her hand put lemon put angel like a put timid put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put little bill put little bear put pink toad put keebler put dill put did a put triple cheese egg sand horse legs arms or snow seamed hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put frosted flucus put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse hasladen legs arms or snow seamed hands put gimmy put stu put poop kayak put Susie. It put Phil, put Lil, put Underdog, put Chucky, put Babysitter, put Levis, put Whore, put Welch, put Hollow, put Big Lad, put Kayak, put Camp Kidney, put Fiddle Run Stains Bears, put Rother, put Melvin, the Bears Walking. Kicker sand horse legs arms or snow seamed hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put camp kidney put pink toad put camp kidney put mouse hasladen legs arms or snow seamed hands put camp kidney put phony mustard put cyst put filter put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put ass lasperus put hospital oaks alcus asperus put camp kidney put twimery off the run stains bears put mimic put oatmeal put regrets put mouse hasladen has walking. Hipper sand horse legs arms or snow seamed hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put oatmeal put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse hasladen legs arms or snow seamed hands put regrets put timid put tricky put mouse hasa at put Phil put Lil put Angel like a put gimmy put Dill put Susie put Chess put Stu put Babysitter put Did put mouse has her hat put Charlie they put Drew put Garrett put Flippus put triple cheese hasladen under spoot our put triple cheese or sack cheese haden horse legs arms or snow seamed hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put scotch put mouse hasladen legs arms or snow seamed hands put toad brigade put connects put green toad filter put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean birded put laborias lasperus put possibear oaks alcus asperus put halda put formery off toad brigade put red toad put blue toad put yellow toad put pink toad put mouse put bird put monster put dog put chef pooper. It put possessed, it put underdog, put possessed, it put toad, brigade, it put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put beneath, it put him just a mouse, it put bird, put monster, put dog, put chef, put broth, bear, put watka. Put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put laborias, lasperus, put possibear, oaks alcus, asperus, put connects, put whore, put mouse, has her hat, put hanger, put hollow, put big lad, put digger, put dory, launcher, taboo. Filter put beef a crunch, put captain crunch, put bean birded, put laborias, lasperus, put possibear, oaks alcus, asperus, put toad brigade, put green toad, put red toad, put blue toad, put yellow toad, put pink toad, put hawk, put forestival, put asbear, pakabas, kasayober, is put puya has her hat, put asper, pakabas, kasayober, is put puya has her hat, put asbear, pakabas, kasayober, is put puya has her hat, put asbear, pakabas, kasayober, is put puya has her hat, put asbear, pakabas, kasayober, is put Puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput spew has her hat, put pious, bear pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput spew has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pakabas kasayo, barespu. Puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasi, a bear split puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput puya has her hat, put ass bear, pukabas kasayo, baresput 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 put pious. Bear Pukabas Kasayo Baresput Put Bias 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 Bear Pakabas Kasayo Put beef a crunch put captain crunch put bean bird put rias last Bares put pass bear oak salkas ass Bares puts away put bolsnika put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put woodode put eolodode put pink toad put little birds walking thicker sand horse legs arms or snow seamed hands put toad brigade put green toad put red toad put woodode put eolodode put pink toad put mouse and horse arms or snow seamed hands put milk put ass bear put kabas kasayo Bares put pias Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Bias Bear 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 Pakabas Kasayo Beres Put Bias for Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Shep put Bias for Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui Shep put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui Hashep put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Paui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Paui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Taui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Taui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Taui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Taui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Taui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui Mr. Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui has out.
Oh no, the voice. Is that a voice? I hear a voice talking.
Mouse put Bali put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Sally put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Payaui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Sally put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Sally put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui Yasper Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear 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 Pukabas Kasayo Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Maui put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Voice put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Voice put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Voice Shed put Bias Bear Pakabas Kasayo Bares Shed put Bias Bear Pukabas 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 Kasayo Bares Voice put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Bias Bear Pakabas Kasayo Bares Voice put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Voice put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Joyce Master Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Kois Master Hand
doing good.
Bias Bear Pass Out Infinity the Crunch put Pactine Crunch put Bean put Last Bares Pass Bear Lotus on put Mouse Master Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares Master Hand Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Voice Master Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Voice Master Hand put Bias Kasayo Bares put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Voice Master Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Voice Master Hand put Bias Bear Pakabas Kasayo Bares the Crunch put Crunch put Bean put Last Put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo Bares put Voice Master Hand put Bias Bear Pukabas Kasayo respiratory poison, biosphere, biosphere, 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 poison, sap, biosphere, biosphere, respiratory poison, biosphere, biosphere, respiratory poison, biosphere, biosphere, respiratory 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 biosphere, even crunch, put pectin crunch, put the inverted label for right ass, that's the rest of the biosphere, won't stop, because I asked the rest of the biosphere, the biosphere, the biosphere, poison, the biosphere, the poison, the biosphere, acid versus poison, the biosphere, the biosphere 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 versus poison, biosphere, the biosphere versus choice, the biosphere, the biosphere versus poison, 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 the biosphere, the biosphere there is good music, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the biosphere, the biosphere versus this on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed,
Clean up.
the biosphere versus use on the shed, the
Here I go.
biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere out here, use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the biosphere, the biosphere versus use on the shed, the